Okay, so we're back. There's one other thing about SpeedMath that's really cool, and this is the incentive. This is the goal. There's the SpeedMath challenge here. Is this question mark right here?
Push this button to take the SpeedMath challenge.
Now, once you take that SpeedMath challenge, what that is a combination of all four things. It's still 45 questions, and it randomly chooses plus, times, minus, divide, and it'll do 45 questions of random whether multiplication or addition or whatever, and you must get all of them correct in order to get into the SpeedMath Hall of Fame, or in order to beat the SpeedMath challenge. Now, here's how I motivate my kids to strive for this. First of all, I have them practice. I start them at an early age, like 6 years old. Okay, I have them practice their addition.
Push this.
Okay.
Push this button to practice addition.
So, what they have to do, they have a goal. And the goal is they have to complete their addition in 2 minutes or less with no mistakes. Now, every day when they get on there, let's say the first day it takes him 7 minutes, and he's got 10 wrong. Okay. The next day, if he comes in and it takes him 6 minutes and 59 seconds with 10 wrong, then he's done good, because he's made some progress. If he does worse than he did the day before, then he loses his computer privileges, or he has to try again until he beats his previous score, right? So now, he does this every day until he can complete his math, his pluses, in under 2 minutes with no mistakes. And I guarantee you, this doesn't take a long time. It only takes about 4 or 5 days for the average kid, right? For their pluses and minuses. For times and divide, it's a little bit harder, and you probably want to, you don't want to push them too hard unless they're older kids, 9 or 10 years old. So, once they've completed 2 days in a row of 2 minutes or less with no mistakes, then they move on to subtraction. Now they're going to have subtraction project, the first time they're going to take 5 minutes, 6 minutes or whatever. They're going to have a bunch wrong. So you start over again. You say tomorrow comes around. Okay, let's say yesterday it took him 6 minutes and he had 10 wrong. Tomorrow, if it takes him, less than 6 minutes and he gets less than 10 wrong, then he's reached his goal for that day. And every day he's got to improve on what he did before until he can do it 2 days in a row in under 2 minutes with no mistakes. Once you complete the subtraction, you go on to multiplication, and then you go on to division. And after a while, they get so used to this that they can, they'll come home from school, they'll get on SpeedMath, they'll just do they'll do their drills in under 2 minutes. And it'll just be second nature to them. They'll just know, this is what I need to do before I can play on the computer, before I can get on MySpace, before I can, go play outside or whatever. And it'll be their own, they will motivate themselves. Now, here's another thing that I do. I tell them, if you can complete the SpeedMath challenge and get in the SpeedMath Hall of Fame, I'll give you $10, right? $10 to a 6-year-old kid or a 7-year-old kid is a huge amount of money. And my kids are very competitive. So, with my kids, I said, okay, the first one to beat the SpeedMath challenge gets $20. Everybody from then on gets $10. So, one by one, sure enough, they got on their SpeedMath, they practiced, and they made their $10. Or their $20, depending on who it was. Another thing you can do to incentivize this thing is say, the first time you complete your pluses in under 2 minutes, I'll give you $2 or something, or I'll take you to the movies, or I'll buy you ice cream or a corn dog or whatever, right? Something, your kids better than anybody else. You know what's going to motivate them. And this is the tool that you can use to get them to master their math facts, to improve their math skills, so that, you know, they stand a better chance of a good future. And so that's pretty much it. You get SpeedMath, you buy the program. It's only $20, so I mean you can't go wrong. It runs on any PC running Vista XP 2000, you know, even 95. I mean this program's like 9 years old now. I wrote it in 1998, right? Wow, 10 years old. Look at that. And it really hasn't changed all that much. I made a few improvements to the sequencing and stuff like that, but overall the program hasn't changed all that much. And the reason why is because it has worked from the very beginning. You want to get this program, you want to start using it now on your kids, and you want to encourage them. You want to figure out, you know what motivates your kids. And you'll know how to get them to do this every day without your telling them to, without your watching over them, to the point where they can do their pluses in under 2 minutes with none wrong, their minuses, their times, their divide, and then you can start pushing them to earn their $10 or whatever it is, you know, their PlayStation game or whatever it is that's going to get them to beat the SpeedMath challenge. And to them it's a game, it's a chore, it's a game and a chore at the same time, but what it really is a tremendous life experience that's going to benefit them for the rest of their life. If your kids struggle with math when they're at an early age and they never get to the point where it comes easy to them, they're always going to struggle. They're going to struggle counting change, you know, figuring out how to divide things up between people, stuff like that. You know, so this program works. And the only thing you need to do is you need to give your kid an incentive to get on it and do it. And it's a good way for them to practice, you know, motivating themselves. It's a good way for them to just master their math facts and not even really realize that they've been practicing. It's a great program, and I highly recommend it for anyone who has school-aged kids, age 6 through 13. I know a lot of 13-year-olds who can't multiply, who can't divide. This program would be perfect for them. But you got to figure out what's going to motivate them to actually use it. And that's the key. The simplicity of the program, that a 6-year-old can use it, and then you knowing how to motivate your kids to get on it and do a good job and complete the goals that are assigned for them. And I guarantee you this thing works. And if for some strange reason it doesn't work for you, you just send me an email, give me a call, and tell me, hey, this thing didn't work for me. At any time within the first 8 weeks, and I will give you 100% of your money back. That's how confident I am that this program will work for you. So what are you waiting for? Go download the program and start using it on your kids right now.